So here we go at Atlanta in the Xfinity car. Atlanta is, I think, a challenging track, but a fun track. It's a track where it's very bumpy, so you kind of bounce around a lot. You got to be able to run smooth over the bumps. It really wears on the tires, which makes it challenging both to drive and to do a setup for. But I'm going to try to put a decent lap down here, and if I can put a decent lap down, then we'll go talk about the setup. One of the things is coming right here, you run 3 and 4 wide open, stay down close to the yellow line as much as you can. I try to run this double dog leg here where I am at the very bottom on that, but I try to have the car aimed for a pretty high entry into 1 so I can arc it as much as I can. I breathe the throttle in the middle of 1 and 2, and then I am trying to stay low on the exit. Turn 2 or 3 and 4, you can run wide open, but you start turning the car very early. So you start turning your wheel or controller very early to be able to crank out a decent lap.
Keep hitting your mark. You'll keep getting.
So that is a lap around Atlanta. Let's go back into now and talk about the setup that I've got for this. That was not the fastest lap you'll see online, but I like to pride myself on setups that will last as far as tire wear and that are easy to drive. A lot of the setups I see online, and if you watch any of my videos, you hear me say this every time, a lot of them are designed for elite racers who can drive a car that is set up on the edge. They are also setups that seem to burn through tires very quickly, and I try to have setups that will last for a full fuel run. So having said that, let's look at the setup. I have a lot of problems, it seems like, with the car wanting to jump loose in the middle of the corner. There's where I have used the bump and the rebound settings to adjust to kind of correct for that and get the car to handle the way I like it. I have separate videos on loose and tight adjustments and goes into very much the detail of if your car is loose or tight in the entry, the center, or the middle, and what the adjustments are for each one of those conditions. This is a heavier front weight than I normally run. It seems like that makes the car a little more stable over the bumps at Atlanta. So I run a heavier weight up front than I normally do. The tire pressures are pretty high. This is a pretty aggressive tire pressures on the right-hand side. I don't like real high tire pressures from the standpoint of it seems like it makes the car harder to control. It makes it feel like you're riding around and bouncing around on balloons or something. Let's go back to the setup. Other things with the setup are I am very conservative here on the camber settings, and I am conservative because being more conservative on the camber settings helps the tires last. The one thing that will wear your tires out more than anything else is getting real aggressive on the camber settings, and by aggressive I mean a big negative number on the right front and a big positive number on the left front. The closer both those settings are to 0, the more conservative your camber is and the longer the setup will last as far as tires. What else to talk about here? Just because the car wants to jump around a lot, especially with the bumps, I moved the wheel lock back to 14. That is retarding it a lot, making it slower to react. That will cause the car to be a little tighter, and it'll cause the steering to be a little slower to react, which helps keep a car under control if you're jumping around a little bit. But that's probably as high as I move that setting. And then as far as the gears, I'm running a 105 in 4th gear and a 307. I like to have the car within 500 RPMs to maybe just right at the red line, but I like to have a car close to the red line by the time I get to the end of the straightaway. I also am running the grill tape at 45%. I like to keep the temperatures of the car somewhere between 235 and 245. I feel like if I'm below 235, I could have more downforce and get higher speeds by putting more tape on. If I'm over 245, it just seems like that's not conducive to getting the most out of the engine. So that's the Atlanta setup for Xfinity. Standard stuff I say at the end of the videos. Please like and subscribe to the channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Leave me any questions you have in the comments section. And if there is a track that you want to see a lap for or a setup, please leave that in the comments also, and I'd be happy to throw up a video for it. And once again, thank you guys for watching. Hope it was helpful to you.